I'm writing this because I wanted to finally get it off my chest. See, I always dreamed of being a game hacker. I just make hacks for games, put the files out on the public for people to play. And hundreds of people do this as a job. As an 18-year-old fresh out of high school, I thought I could have done this as, maybe a side gig. But I had no idea what this would get me into. See, I don't only hack games. I also like to collect hacked games that other people have made. Recently, I went to a garage sale a while back, in another neighborhood I was visiting, to find any. It was one of the local spouses in the neighborhood who was running it. I found quite a few game discs in it, but there was one that really piqued my interest. It was a hack of a Tales game, and it seemed ordinary enough. The only weird thing about it was that she gave off the impression that she was very reluctant to give it to me, until I heard her mutter under her breath, "I pray for your safety," whilst her eyes started to tear up a bit. She offered it to me. I'm going to point it out to you, lady. $37 for a yard sale is an outrageous price. I don't think she realized I heard her say that. Shit. It was at that point I was second-guessing buying the disc. Anyway, I got home overjoyed, but still somewhat confused. I laid all the games I got on my bed, wondering which one to play first. Some games were normal, while a few were hacked. I showed my dorm buddies the disc, and they wanted to help me try them out. I finally chose which one to play first. The elephant in the room. The Tales game hack. My curiosity was piqued when it was this one that the spouse was so eager to give away, but not at the same time. Nonetheless, I wanted to play it, to see what was wrong with it. It probably had its fair share of viruses on it, and more often than not, she probably just didn't want to ruin my system. I opened up the case. The disc was there, but also a little small note inside, telling me to avoid trying to open save file 17, as it was extremely bugged and would be very bad for your PC. Whatever that meant. I complied with the very obvious warning that came with and put the disc in the disk slot to extract the files. I wrote down on a sticky note not to play save file 17, and that I would just play all the other ones. I wouldn't let curiosity get the better of me if it meant potentially getting a Trojan horse on my computer. Well, I played all the other save files, and I was truly baffled by how much content there was. Somehow, each save file had more and different content from the rest. And it was amazing. I mean, half the time I didn't even realize what I was playing, but I didn't care. And this was when I started to think that maybe save file 17 was unfinished, and that my game would just crash, and that's why the note said not to play it. It was all starting to come together, I thought at the time. I learned from the spouse that her husband made it very clear to her to not let anybody play save 17. And reason being, well, she didn't tell me why, but at least she knew. I opened up save 17 and started playing. I almost immediately knew something was very wrong with this save file. The title card for the zone I was in didn't say anything, except for 17. The level devoid of the art and beauty from the previous save files. In fact, it had none of the primary Sega stylistic features either. The music was off-putting and sounded extremely bugged out, and from what I saw, it was just a sunset, reflecting on the horizon with some mountainous terrain. It felt surreal. Tails also wasn't running in this level. He was just walking. Slowly. This zone gave me an uncanny vibe about it that made me instantly uncomfortable. There were no rings. I apparently had 0 lives. It was just hills and mountains and tunnels. There were trees here and there, but looked almost like real trees, digitized as system limitations would allow, but tall and bushy. I felt my headache grow as the song kept droning, until I couldn't move him anymore. The background faded until it was just Tails staring at me with a dead blank look, his pupils becoming very dilated to the point where it was just 4 pixels. A wide grin forming on his face, a spotlight shone somewhere above him. The number 17 started appearing into the void until it was all I was paying attention to. Until it vanished. I was confused. I was obviously spooked and turned the game off. Then I saw my roommate. Strangely, he was resting his finger on our stove, staring blankly at me while his finger was acquiring a 3rd-degree burn that just slowly got worse from there. Immediately I questioned him, asking him what the hell he was doing, and no response. I kept asking him questions to no avail. My other 2 roommates weren't present at the moment. I started asking myself where they went, and my roommate spoke. They died. What? I questioned him. Car crash. I felt myself getting whiplash at that moment. My headache still growing with that damn song still playing. I became agitated, not sure at what. My roommate then began to cry, but still seemingly showed no emotion. Suddenly I woke up. On the floor. My headache still pulsing through my head. My 3 friends standing above me, concerned. Everything was normal. But no, everything wasn't normal. At least not how I remembered it. Confusion struck me like a truck. I didn't know what to think of anything. Then it hit me. My friends weren't the insane ones. I was. The game. More specifically, that damn music in the game that drove me into madness. Horrified, I took the disc out of the slot, deleted the files I'd extracted onto my computer, and, well, here we are. I proceeded to write about it online to make its existence known. And in a way I felt relieved. It felt like I was burning my insanity away. Nobody will ever have to worry about save file 17. Nobody. I hid it somewhere in my closet so that I wouldn't ever have to think about it again.